waits for no man.
Ronnie O'Sullivan.
No matter how incredible, no matter how inspirational. But as a legend contemplates how his era ends, a pretender plans for another to begin.
Who's your favourite player?
Ronnie O'Sullivan.
We cannot know when the baton will finally pass, when his dominance finally wanes, and the new challenger takes up the reins. Time waits for no man.
Ronnie O'Sullivan.
No matter how incredible, no matter how inspirational. But as a legend contemplates how his era ends, a pretender plans for another to begin.
Who's your favourite player?
Ronnie O'Sullivan.
We cannot know when the baton will finally pass, when his dominance finally wanes, and the new challenger takes up the reins. Is this final part of the glorious goodbye, or the greeting of the new generation? It's Ronnie O'Sullivan against Judd Trump, whose time is now.
A final for the ages here in Leicester as the World Grand Prix hosts the clash of two titans of the sport. Ronnie O'Sullivan may feel he's approaching the end of his hero journey, but his sensational performance in last night's semi-final shows his story has a few more chapters to come. His opponent, Judd Trump, is reaching the peak of his odyssey and is primed to fulfil his snooker prophecy in becoming one of the true greats to ever play the game. It's the final of the World Grand Prix. Ronnie O'Sullivan against Judd Trump. It's best of 19 frames, the first of 8 we will see this afternoon. It's final time here at the Morningside Arena, and I am joined by two legends of our very own in the pantheon of punditry, Ken Doherty and Alan McManus. First of all, may we wish Alan a very happy birthday. And what a way to celebrate. Can you think of a better way of spending your birthday than looking forward to a final like this?
Absolutely not. This is going to be a blockbuster of a final. I don't think I've looked forward to a final as much since the 22 World Championship final that these two players contested. I can't wait.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a final that, you know, we'd pay in to watch ourselves. Maybe even Stephen Hendry might pay in, and that's saying something, you know. But no, it's a top of the table clash. Two of the snooker's heavyweights, two of the greats that's ever graced the game, and what a final we are to start. And both players playing superbly well as well into the mix.
Yeah, the crowds have been queuing for hours to get in here. They're piling in now. So much anticipation around this. Let's hear from Ronnie O'Sullivan now, talking to Rob Walker.
Ronnie, this is such an exciting match. The two outstanding players of their generation. And I know that you've got as much respect for Judd as he has for you.
Yeah, no, definitely. You know, Judd's he's turned into like the ultimate pro. You know, he's you can just see he's determined to win every tournament, every match he plays. You know, he plays with that such focus. You know, a bit like what Hendry used to be like. So you know, yeah, you know, he's up there winning lots of tournaments. So you know, he's one of the you know, the guys that you know you're going to have to play well if you're going to get a result. You know.
And the other thing that makes this match so fascinating, there aren't that many players who are genuinely unintimidated by playing you in a big final. But he's one of them. He won't mind that it's you.
No.
He almost likes the fact that he's got to beat the best to win the title. He's up for it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think, you know, there's a few players like that, you know, that are just sort of, you know, they're going to come and you got to win the match. You know, Selby, Robertson, even Ding. You know, there's certain players who just have that temperament and that belief that, you know, that they can win the match. You know, which is, and Judd's certainly one of them. Yeah.
He was in absolutely sparkling form last night. I think we can all agree. Probably have never seen a better session of snooker than Ronnie in action against Ding Junhui last night. If you'd given him a paintbrush, he would have created a masterpiece. That was what it was like, wasn't it, Ken?
Yeah, it was. It was scintillating snooker from start to finish. I mean, he made 4 centuries. He absolutely demolished Ding in just a little over an hour. And every facet of his game was pinpoint. His long ball, his safety, all his stats were completely off the charts. One of the best, I think, semi-finals and best of 11 performances that I've ever seen.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of the stats from that match. It took 73 minutes for him to see off Ding, 7 frames in just 73 minutes, because his average shot time, 12 seconds. He was floating around that table, wasn't he?
He absolutely was. We've had overnight, obviously, to digest what we saw last night. I believe it to be the best performance in the history of the game in a single match. It was off the charts in every way you want it. Even Dingy only missed 2 shots in the match. And I was thinking of matches, I'm sure Kenny was overnight, in comparison. You think of the John Higgins-Mark Selby game at the Players' Championship. That was different. John kind of sort of didn't dismantle Mark Selby. He broke him down brick by brick. But last night, Ronnie just bulldozed his way through the match. But it was beautiful the way he went about it. I've never seen anything like it.
And incredible to think, this time last week he was preparing for the final of the Masters, and then he came straight here. He's carried on. And all week he was saying that he wasn't particularly happy with the way he was hitting the ball. He wasn't enjoying it as much. That changed last night, and it was interesting, wasn't it, Ken, to hear him after the match.
Yeah.
He knew that he delivered something very special.
Yeah, absolutely, and he was a lot happier, and that was great to see, because all week he's sort of been downplaying his performance, even though it had been superb. But last night, I think he was really, really pleased. And even in that little clip, in that interview, I think you can see the little sort of smirk on his face that he's really looking forward to this. I'm sure as Trump is looking forward to this match as well.
Yeah, a little glint in his eye there. We could see that, couldn't we? OK, let's hear from his opponent, Judd Trump. He's also been talking to Rob.
And here you are with an opportunity to become a 4-time World Grand Prix champion, which would tie with Northern Ireland as your most successful event. You just love this.
Yeah, it's strange, really. I can understand Northern Ireland is the same venue every time we go back there, and is an amazing atmosphere. This tournament, I don't know why so much. It kind of chopped and changed around the country, different times on the calendar, but for some reason, I just feel now when I come into this tournament, the first ITV event after the new year, that I just feel like now's the time you need to start playing well. So it's just something about this tournament that helps my mindset, and I just feel really relaxed when I play in it.
And I know that you love the big occasion, and they don't come any bigger than a match and a final against Ronnie O'Sullivan. You relish these challenges, don't you?
Yeah, I love playing him. I try to enjoy playing everyone, but especially Ronnie. I think especially the form he's been in at the moment, he's been kind of brushing everyone aside, so it's nice now to finally get a shot at him in another big final.
You get the sense he's just relishing this. He's so looking forward to it. As we came into the studio, he was out on the practice table behind. I saw him with his brother Jack, just loosening up, getting ready for this one. I just wonder, though, Al, what effect it would have on Judd, having seen how well Ronnie played last night?
Yeah, good question, Jill, and he will have seen it because it's part of his job. The one downside maybe, and this is just theory, that the performance by Ronnie will have against Ronnie, it will focus Judd's mind. He knows the task at hand now. He has to play pretty much the match of his life if he's going to win this, and I think he can. I think he's been the player of the season. He's got that swagger back, the confidence. He also has, talking about Ronnie bulldozing Ding last night, Judd is the ultimate bulldozer. He's got the power and he can do it quickly, and he can take the match away from Ronnie. I don't think this is I think it's a very close affair we're in for here.
Yeah, and he loves this tournament. He's aiming for a 4th World Grand Prix title. What is it about the tournament, do you think, that appeals to him?
I think he just loves playing the ITV events, and the focus now is all on the one table, of course. But I think he's just been having such a wonderful season. He's won 3 ranking tournaments. He had that little run all together, back to back. And I totally agree with Alan. He has the confidence. He has it in the tank. He knows that O'Sullivan, very hard to replicate what O'Sullivan did last night, to come back and do it again. Almost impossible. But he knows that from his head-to-head over the years. He's beaten Ronnie in big finals. So he's one of those players that is not intimidated, not afraid of Ronnie. He'll go out, he'll play his own game, and if he plays his own game, this match will go very, very close.
Yeah, there's hardly anything between them in the head-to-heads. I think Ronnie edges at 14-13, and they've played in some absolute humdingers over the years. But look at this, the two best players in the world, the two best players this year, they've had 3 titles apiece this season. Look at their centuries, they're both potting so well. You know, they're two players at the absolute peak of their powers, Al.
They are, and I thought Ronnie's best days were behind him, I must confess, albeit he's still brilliant, but he's proved me wrong, which most people do. He's back to his best, and I didn't think it was going to happen. There's an interesting one coming into this match. I've been looking at their recent history. The last 6 matches, someone has led 3-1 at the break, and every time the person leading 3-1 has prevailed. The start is massively important in this one.
Right then, in that case, let's get your predictions. Come on, Ken.
I think it's going to go really close. I'm hoping it goes right. But I think O'Sullivan, because of his scoring power and his confidence at the moment, and his long game is as good as I've ever seen it, I think O'Sullivan's going to edge it, but I think it'll be close, 10-8 to O'Sullivan.
I think it'll be close, but I think Judd's going to win. I think Ronnie's performance will focus Judd's mind on the task at hand today, and I think he's going to play his best stuff.
It's going to be a Super Sunday of snooker. Do not go anywhere, because after the break, we'll get this final underway. It's the World Grand Prix. It's Ronnie O'Sullivan against Judd Trump.